Hello guys, my name is Ngicho Helmad. Today we are going to talk about how to import data, that is a CSV file and Excel file, into our Power BI. So once your Power BI is open, you go to the Home tab and click on Get Data. A drop down of data sources that are available will appear, and just click on More to see all the data sources that you can import into your Power BI. The speed will depend on your laptop, but for today you can see there are variety of sources of data that you can import into Power BI. But for today we are going to learn about the Excel and the CSV file. So let's start with the Excel. So click on the Excel workbook, then you will be able to prompt page will appear in which you'll be able to trace the path in which you stored your file. So for example, my data is stored in the file in my PC desktop, then folder Elmado then again into Power BI training, and you can see that we have got sample 1, which is an Excel file here. So double click on it to open, then give it a few seconds for it to load, and now this will depend on the speed of your computer. Once it is the navigator pane is open, click on the name of the sheet and you'll be able to see a preview of your sample data on your right hand. Click on the checkbox to load the data, and there are three options. You can load data directly if you're sure that your data is clean, needs no editing, but in case you want to edit, like in this our case, you click on the transform data tab. Once you click on it, Power Query Editor will open to allow you to edit the data. So the first thing here, you can see that sample steps have been applied for me here on my right pane, but I want to do away with that. We want to see on how this data will appear here once it is cleaned on that. So you click on the X to remove that. So the first thing is to click on the table, double click to open that table, and you can see that it is prompting many steps, but we'll go one by one. So already my table is opened, and you can see that my data has got the first row as headers. So for me to do that, you go to the transform tab here, then used first row as headers, click on it, and you can see that is reflected on your data. So once that is done, I want to also to detect the data types for my data, and you can see that has been applied here. I want to remove that. So here I've got the numerical, and the text data. So just click on any cell on the data, then click Ctrl A to select the entire table, then go to Transform tab, then select Detect Data Type, and you can see that a step has been applied. Now my data has got all the data types that we have, and you can see that step has been applied here on the change data type. Then I want to rename my worksheet, so I want to call it maybe sample data 1, and press enter, and you can see that has been reflected on my query. So once my data is now clean, I'll go to the Home tab to click Close and Apply for these changes to be reflected on my data. And remember, the changes that have been done here does not affect my data source, but only the file that I have imported into Power BI. And you can give it a few seconds to see the data. So on your left pane, there are three icons. The first one for the viewing the report on the left, the second one is for viewing data, and the third one is for the model to check on the relationships. So for example, we want to see our data the way it appears on the Excel file. So click on the data, then on your right pane under fields, click the name of the data, and you can see the data how it looks once it is imported. So that is one way of importing Excel data. The other data type that you want to import is the CSV file. So already I have got my file, so I'll go to the Home tab and go to the Excel Get Data from the Home menu. Then now choose the CSV or text file option. So once you click on it, it will prompt you to a page or a link or a path to where your data is stored initially from your last working, but you should be able to change that. So for example, I'll go to my folder here. Then you can see that my sample data one here is in the format of CSV file. When I try to expand under the tab here, you can see this in that format. Just double click on it and for it to load, and you can see that from the preview you have to choose your delimiter and data type detection, but I can see my data is well here. So the same procedure that we applied on the Excel data is the same thing. If you are sure that it is correct, it is clean enough, you click on load. But if you want to transform, you click on transform. For example, in our case here, to edit our data, then you can see that it has populated for me all the steps that it has applied, which looks similar to the one that I had on my Excel, but I want to give it a new name on the Power Query editor. So we want to give it the name sample data 2, and press enter. So this is now my CSV file. So once that is done, you come to the home tab, click close and apply for the changes to be applied on my data. And you can give it a few seconds for it to apply to load the data with the changes made. And we can view our data now by clicking the name of the data. Once our tab for viewing the data is open, you click on the name here and you can see the changes that has been reflected. So that is how to import a CSV and Excel data file into Power BI. Give this video a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more coming videos. Thank you guys.